We're talking today about Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. You wrote an article, song breakdown for us. Why don't you hit those points for us, and we'll break it down step by step.
It's a Stevie Nicks song about Lindsey Buckingham, I believe, who were all in the same band while they were recording this. So it must have been pretty crazy.
A little intense.
Good to be a fly on the wall and that kind of stuff. I don't know if there's much more to say about Stevie Nicks. I think a lot of people know her and her voice.
Yeah. Well, I have a couple questions. She has a lower female voice, right?
I would say.
Yeah. Kind of sultry, right? Sultry, sexy.
The sultry. I don't know if the pitches are lower or it's just a more formantly lower.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess it's right. Yeah.
There's an odd parallel because her and Petty played together a lot, right? Like they sang a couple duets together, and they both kind of have this nasally tone to their voice as well.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. I just I don't know this song well, but I listened to it the other day and I was like, man, she's got a voice you don't hear anymore.
That's true. She has a very distinctive voice.
Yeah. That might be a way to say that. Why do you think we're not seeing that anymore? Like, I just don't think unique voices are coming out as much.
That's a good question. There's a lot of people are pretty much just have great voices and but no distinctive characteristics of them.
Which kind of hits with the American Idol stuff, right? Like we have these shows where they're phenomenal singers, but we're going for like these huge ranges and all these trills and everything, but we don't care about the person that doesn't sound like anybody else.
Right, that's true. There are certain, like, there's always the different vocal tricks, but it seems to be always the same.
Yeah.
Good point that you're bringing up. Yeah. So Stevie Nicks back in the day. And even Christy McVie, she had a pretty distinctive voice in Fleetwood Mac as well.
So this is me not knowing enough about Fleetwood Mac, but Christy McVie almost sounds like a church worship leader. That was her style of voice in my mind. Very prim and proper, maybe?
Right. More of a, I don't know, kind of a monotone kind of thing.
Great way to put it. Great. But, where in that fits certain songs. Like, could you imagine Christy McVie singing Dreams?
No,
it'd be boring.
I'm trying to picture it. My mind's ears trying to picture it. Yeah, it would be interesting. It probably wouldn't have been Dreams.
It wouldn't have been the hit that it is. Okay, so again, this goes to my perspective of not knowing the song well, and it's kind of how I wanted to treat it. Like I wanted to dive into the music, research it a little bit, and then listen to it. And when I listened to it, the first things that popped out were, we'll get to them, but the drums and the bass, right? That groove. But then as soon as she comes in, it's just like this smoky is what I think of. Like if you could think of like a smoke billowing through the room, that's how her voice sounds over top of everything else.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds right. Yeah.
So now here's my question for you. One of my new things that I'm going to start doing, we'll probably launch this next week, is I'm going to cover this song top to bottom, all instruments.
Ooh.
Now,
cool.
Do you think I'm as sexy as Stevie Nicks is? And go.
I don't know. It's a toss-up, really. Right. I haven't seen a current picture of her, but
we'll just
I'll
compare
probably go
the
ahead
two.
and say that. I'll probably go ahead and say that she's probably hotter than you.
Really?
Sorry.
Really?
Huh. Yeah.
Well, so part of this idea though is what can I do in 7 days? How close can I get to producing this whole sound? And I'm a little fearful of I listened to her voice, kind of concentrating on that yesterday, going, shit, how am I ever going to sound like Stevie Nicks?
It'll take some electronic. Do you have a? Do you have Melodyne?
No, I'm not going to cheat like that. I'm just going to be like, if Lindsey Buckingham performed the song and wanted to emulate her as much as possible, what would he try to sound like? That's my idea. Not necessarily Lindsey, like me, I guess, me as Luke. How close can I get to sounding like Stevie Nicks if she was a guy? Steve Nicks.
Steve Nicks. Steve Nicks, vocalist.
That's what I'm good. That'll be the title of the video. Steve Nicks does Stevie Nicks. That sounds bad too. Shit. All right.
I think I fronted that. No.
You watched that one? I like it. All right, Steve.
Never mind.
That'll be that's going to be my challenge. And I think I'm going to try to, as I film this, I think you and I might kind of loop back together and I might show you like, hey, here's where I'm at vocally and give me some feedback of where I have to, how can I sound more sultry?
Okay. All right.
Give me sultry lessons, John.
Oh, I am the source. I'm totally the source.
You are the end all be all when it comes to it. I think the internet's well aware of it. I'm aware of it. What I was going to try to do is all the harmonies as well in this song. And as I continue to listen, I got intimidated. But it's going to be a challenge.
Right. Well, that's cool. You can learn a lot. I used to cover a lot of songs, all instruments. You pick up a lot of things, production-wise, performance-wise. So it's a good exercise.
That's kind of the goal. Yeah. I think it'll either kill me or I'll get better.
Right? And then hopefully you stay alive and we can hear it.
Yeah. Well, okay, so, I will get more into this next time when I have the product for you and you'll give us some feedback. All right, so the keyboard.
Okay. Yes. Keyboard. That is Acoustic McVie on a Rhodes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's its own rendition of Sultry way back in there.
Yeah.
Smoky. Yeah. It's just like Acoustic McVie. It's got it's monotone. Not really, doesn't really attack you.
Yes. If you put everything in a mix. Yeah, in the mix, if you put everything in the forefront, everything's going to fight for power.
Right. Yeah.
And that's where it's like when I listen to the song, obviously that drum fill in the beginning and then the bass, the glue, I guess that's probably what I was focused on. Those two elements kind of pulled me in so much that I was like, there's other stuff going on, but it's not grabbing my attention. It's what's the word for it? We both don't have words. It's a texture.
Yes, that's good. Yes, it's a texture.
Cool.
Yep.
And then what is a Rhodes?
A Rhodes. That's a good question. Some people have come to me and said, "Could you put down a Hammond Rhodes part?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? That's two different things." Or no, it's a B3 Whirly or something.
Yeah.
They're talking about two different things. Rhodes is a electric piano made by Fender.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's electric piano, basically. The basic electric pianos were Fender Rhodes, and then there's the Wurlitzer electric piano, which has more of a crisp rocking sound. Like the Supertramp sound is Wurlitzer. The more
so
the muffled.
Yeah, what is a Rhodes sound?
Rhodes.
Okay, so it is very much like Christy McVie, huh? She's gonna hate us after this video, John.
Probably, yes. Sorry.
Well, but, any news is good news, I think.
But no, actually, it's a compliment, really.
Yeah.
Because it fits. It's like you said, texture. It fills a part of the song that needs to be there. Sometimes you don't really see it as much, like you not hearing it at the beginning. But it's like it. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't there, you would probably notice. Actually, I think I might have.
Oh, and I'm sure the second I listen to it again, now that we've had this talk, and especially if I put headphones on, it's going to pop out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, see? That's what without it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's missing a ton.
Yeah. And here's it back in.
It's one of those things, though, you don't notice it until it's gone, right? You A-B it like that, and you're like, oh, yeah, right. Okay.
And then I also point out that she hangs on the F and that, like... instead of
yeah. So that
I
F
don't
is
know
kind
why,
of
but-
rubbing with that G a little bit, isn't it?
yeah, which is a cool chord. It's like a Lydian kind of thing.
Well, it creates that tension.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
And
Yeah,
then
so I'm guessing it was intentional,
yeah.
but I'm also, I'm not really sure, but I would say it's intentional, of course.
Yeah, yeah. She wrote it that way. What you should have said, because I said tension, you should have said intentional.
Ah, tensional. Right. Wordplay.
It's all I do, John. All I have is wordplay. I don't have much else. And I should have read your note here where you said weird notes and all. You transcribed it exactly how she played it, weird notes and all. So that should have been a dead giveaway.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Weird, but it works in some way. Maybe she wanted tension because this song is basically about tension, I would say. I think their whole working on this album, Rumors, was tension.
Yeah.
It was all tension. So, I don't know, it could have been a theme or something.
I think out of that they got those amazing songs, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You get
That's
amazing
an awesome
songs out of
album.
tension. Yeah. And I mean, phenomenal as an audiophile, right? Like just the sounds, the tones that they got from everything is gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That just sounds great.
Yeah. It all really does. All right, lead guitar.
I hate to go back to this, but this is Lindsay being sultry, pretty much.
Sultry's the key word
just-
of the day.
I guess, yeah. He's putting in tasty licks through the entire thing, pretty much. Playing around with the vocals.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like a answering, call answer kind of thing, but then he's doing a lot of volume stuff. Pretty much every note goes
Now
with the pedal. Let's see.
Again, talk about intimidation. So Stevie Nicks' voice, but then just his placement of the volume pedal, right? How it's opening up so perfect. While he's kind of doing those weird, in my mind, it's kind of a weird bend because he sits on that 3 and then bends up and then does that little pull off afterwards. Like part of me is going, that's like 3 different techniques as far as it is 3 different techniques. Bend, hold note, the hold note I'm not really counting, and then a pull off, and then while doing a volume swell.
Right. And at first I thought this might have been on a pedal steel. Maybe
Okay.
it was, actually. I don't know, because it sounds like that. I must have gone on YouTube to see what he's doing. He's not playing the exact same part, of course.
Yeah.
And I think he was bending.
Okay.
But there might be different performances where... I know he's not sitting at a slide guitar.
Yeah.
thing, but-
You'd be like, that doesn't look like a pedal steel, so I'm guessing he's not. Yeah.
But then, this would be hard to play on with a slide ring. I'm not sure of all the techniques, because you'd have to keep one note, only slide one of the notes, keep the other one sustained.
Yep. It also leads us to talk about stuff like, guess what? A band records it one way because you have ultimate, you can do whatever you want, and then you can perform it a different way as well.
Right. Yes. The performance is often a different thing than the studio.
It does give you, like when you're transcribing stuff, I know it gives you clues, it gives you hints, but it doesn't always tell the full story, right?
Right. It's 2 different things sometimes.
And then when I listen to the song, I couldn't hear the ukulele part. Do you know why that is?
I don't know. I think they did, while they were working on it, they just kept turning it down more and more. Because, I don't know. I think Tiny Tim did that part.
Really? He did?
Yeah. I think Tiny Tim did a cameo on there. And
I think, speaking of cameo.
I think he's mad, too.
Really? He was upset that he wasn't represented? I think he played on the whole Rumors album.
I think so. That was
a rumor.
what I heard. But, yeah. But, yeah, he was scooted out of all the mixes. I don't know. Poor guy.
He wasn't even the... I'm sure if you look at the Rumors photo, it's that one where the 2 are standing together, right? The 2 people are, Stevie Nicks
right.
and... I think Tim's right off screen.
I think he was hanging from the drummer. Oh wait, that's something else. I don't know. But
all right, so clearly this
Anyway.
will be an ongoing bit. There's no ukulele in the song as per usual, so we made up a part. Or you did.
right. Yes.
Yeah.
Or
But-
Nick did.
Wow.
Yes.
Nick made up the strum. You made it into ukulele. And then, so the same thing goes for a strum. Yeah, there's no real actual strum acoustic in there. But,
Right. I think, well, there is in the choruses.
okay.
So I did the choruses as well as I could hear for a strum, and
Yeah.
then just filled up the rest of the song with strums too,
Okay.
just to keep a strum going through the whole song.
Yeah, is really what we're going for on these. So, cool. All right, bass guitar.
Bass guitar, I think the art of that is the spaces between the notes.
Yeah.
It's not quite like staccato, but it's not like legato to the next note.
Yeah.
It's like don't, you know. And then also he's playing it pretty hard with his fingers, so he's hitting the fretboard, like on the.
Yeah, I
beat.
think this is one of the ones we talked about, I think, and you're like, hey, do I notate that he's just playing super
Yeah.
aggressive? But I think that's the point of these videos too, to bring up stuff like that, where it's like, yeah, like if you can't make your part sound like that when you're trying to learn the song, it's because you have to be super aggressive as you play.
Right. So that's if you make that do that sound, you're probably gonna be more aggressive, and then you'll probably have the right tone going. Stuff like that. I don't know if it's. I don't know for which mix you can hear it in best. I don't know if you hear it in there, but it's in there. It's kind of
Okay.
weird.
Well, yeah, so you could just hear. So he's hitting this string so hard, or the right hand so hard, right? It's making the string vibrate too much.
Yeah, and I think when he mutes.
Okay. Oh yeah.
When he stops the note, it's making some kind of percussive sound somewhere on the fretboard, I would say.
Gotcha.
And now thinking again about it, I don't know if it's really the aggressiveness or it's just when he stops the note. He's
Gotcha.
not really playing the notes aggressively, but when he stops
Yeah.
the notes, he's pushing down enough so it's making a click
Yeah.
in there somewhere.
Well, I'm gonna pay extra attention
So,
to
but
that
yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
In my mind, so
Push up
my
in the
goal of
notes.
these videos of doing the whole song, my goal is to get it as close to the studio recording as possible.
Cool. Yeah.
Or die. Like those are the two, right? I either gonna do that or die. All right, drums.
Drums. Pretty basic sound in the drums. Toms
Oh,
are
wait,
too
I-
low, so it's hard to
And-
tell
and there's-
exactly which drums he's playing.
Which time is what? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a simple drum part, but it works so well for this song.
Yeah.
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 I mean, and the bass and the drums are just laying down this nice foundation for everything else to kind of be a
Right.
little chaotic if you think about it. The lead guitar kind of coming in when he
Kinda
wants
what?
to. Chaotic to a degree.
Right.
Yeah. Organized chaos,
Yeah,
but
sort of.
still. Yeah. It's just.
Right.
It's a great song for that groove of the bass and the drums and let everything else float over top. I guess I should put the piano in. Piano, bass, and drums are setting that foundation.
Yeah, and they're pretty simplistic. I find with a lot of songs, there's at least one chaotic or one more busy part,
Yep.
and then the other parts are more like laid back.
Yeah.
It works out that way a lot. Like in this case, it would be like the guitar being the going off somewhere, and everything else is just laying the track down through
Yep.
the song. So
But
there's it's one thing to keep it interesting.
Yeah. And I wonder, I feel like that's almost the vibe for Fleetwood Mac, right? I mean, that's kind of what they do.
Yeah, there's a lot of don't know. I mean, yeah, I'd have to listen to more of their songs, but
I'm just thinking there's a lot of finger picking ones where the acoustic guitar is the busy thing, and again the drums are more just foundational. I mean, it's obviously, you could say that about a lot of songs, as you could say like the song's about a relationship, which, you know, I think of all the songs we've talked about right now, most of them have been about a relationship.
A lot of songs are about relationships. It's funny.
Yeah. There should be more songs about subway cars.
Subway cars. That would be like Radiohead or something would do that. Probably.
Yeah. See, now you ruined it for me. It would be Radiohead. Radiohead's fine, but, you know, I thought I came up with an idea.
Minutes of static. Okay.
And then one. Cool. All right. I think that was a great chat about Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. Thanks, John.
Yeah. Cool. Good to see you.
You as well.